Welcome to level 2 of the gym-based series. Again, I have created 3 different genres of exercise for people emerging from chronic pain or surgery or accidents and things like that. An earlier series that I've posted is a yoga-influenced home program series, and you can watch that here or search on my channel for that. And later I'll be posting a playground series to get people outside and enjoying the fresh air. This is level 2 of the home gym. Enjoy. Level 2, first warm up. Here we go. We're going to be kneeling like this. Feel free to put a pad underneath your knee if your knee's uncomfortable with that contact. I'm going to scoot my foot forward a little bit here because I'm going to lean forward first to look for a stretch in the front of my thigh here. I'm just going to lean my body on that, and that should feel like a nice stretch there in that thigh. Now what I'd also like to see is that the knee is moving over the toe of the bottom foot to get that ankle motion going too. A lot of people are really tight through the foot and ankle, and we want to get that complex loosened up a little bit simply just by doing this. And then we're going to come back out of that, and we're going to go into it again. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hands on the floor, and that gets my back into it a little bit more, and it feels good. Nice thigh stretch there. Then we're going to come back. Okay, we're going to take this one step further. I'm going to go forward, and now I'm going to walk my hands over to this side and stretch this whole left side of my rib cage and thigh. It feels really nice. I feel a little bit in my shoulder here too. Good. You can do a slow, gentle bounce if you want to, or just hold it statically. We're just loosening things up, and then you're going to come up. Place your forearm on this up thigh here, and now we're going to side bend towards that side. And again, looking for that shoulder, rib cage, possibly even the thigh stretch here. And if you want more stretch there, you can lunge forward just a little bit to find it. Good. Now we're going to go back down to the floor again, one more time. Walking our hands over to the side, taking the hips forward to feel that stretch in the front of the thigh. Feeling my rib cage stretch out too. Should feel really good. Getting this ankle, this front ankle moving. Try to keep that heel down if you can to make that ankle bend. Okay, we're going to come back up here one more time. Side bend stretch. I'm going to lunge forward a little bit to get that hip too, and thigh. Okay, and now we're going to switch sides. So if you have a pad underneath this knee, put it underneath this one instead. We're going to start lunging forward. I like to start with both arms on my thigh here for balance. Feeling that nice stretch in this thigh, getting this ankle to bend, keeping this heel down. Nice stretch there. Okay, we're going to come forward again, and this time I'm going to put my hands down on the floor to see what more stretch I can get out of this. Good. Now I find that if I push this hip down to the floor a little bit, I get even more stretch through that thigh. Okay, we're going to back out of that. We're going to come back into it again, and this time I'm going to walk my hands over to this side again, and that introduces a stretch through my rib cage and shoulder. I'm keeping this heel down to get that ankle mobility going. Breathing through the stretch, relaxing into it as much as you can. Okay, we're going to come back up, hand on thigh. We're going to side bend. Really go after that rib cage stretch and shoulder. And then I'm going to lunge forward just a little bit to get that hip and thigh into that too. Good, we're going to come down one more time. Walking the hands to the side, getting that rib cage stretch, heel is down on that front foot to get the ankle bending. I feel a stretch in my thigh here. Feels really good. Breathe, try not to hold on, just let it go, let it stretch. Figure out where you're holding and let that tension go. And we're going to come back up again. Support my weight here. Side bend. And you're done. Second warm-up stretch, level 2. We're going to stretch out your calf and soleus muscles. These are the muscles here and down here, okay? And it's really easy. You're going to put your foot up on the leg of a bench or some other item in the gym. Heel stays down, and this should be maybe 2 or 3 inches high, okay? So we're going to lock the knee backwards, and we're going to take the whole body forward. And you'll feel a nice stretch in the upper part of your calf here. Keeping that knee straight, I want you to make sure that the hip is moving forward. A lot of people stretch and do this instead, and they're not really getting that calf stretch. So take the whole body forward like this, feeling that calf stretch. And I'm just holding on here for a little bit of balance. You can hold on to a wall or have a pole in your hand if you like. Feeling that really nice calf stretch. Should feel good. Okay, we're gonna back out of that and we're gonna hit it one more time. Locking the knee back, taking the whole hip forward, holding on to the wall or a pole or a piece of equipment if need be for balance, and feeling that really delicious stretch in your calf muscle. Should feel really good. Breathe through it, let it go. Keep this heel down on the ground to get your calf stretch. If you find that you're bending your knee a lot and it's hard to keep that knee straight, it's probably because you're moving a little bit too far forward and trying to be too aggressive. So back up to the point where you can keep that knee straight to really get that calf stretch. Okay, now we're going to go after the soleus, which is a muscle deeper here, or lower. So we're going to bend the knee forward, again keeping the heel down. And you'll feel a stretch more down closer to your ankle rather than up at the back of your calf area. Once you feel that stretch, you're going to just slowly bring the knee side to side like this to prepare your foot and ankle for rotation movements. Throughout the day, we often step on uneven surfaces, or we have to turn to go places, and we need that foot and ankle to be nice and loose and capable of accommodating those changes in surfaces. That should feel like a really nice stretch down there. We're going to back out of that. Go into it one more time, bending the knee. I feel my soleus stretch closer to my ankle. Now I go side to side. Should feel really good. Nice and slow. And if you find a particular area of tightness, then go ahead and linger there and stretch that out a little bit more if you like. Okay, we're gonna back out of that. Now I'm gonna hit my other leg. Ball of the foot up, heel is down, locking the knee back, taking the whole body and hips forward, feeling that calf stretch. If you find that your heel is coming up, try to push that down and that will accentuate your calf stretch for you. Again, if you can't keep your knee straight and it keeps bending, it's probably because you're trying to be too aggressive. So just go to wherever your body can go. This is not a competition. It should just feel good to stretch. We're going to back out of that. Make sure that knee is locked again. Keep that knee locked as we take the whole body forward, feeling the stretch in the calf. Okay, now we're going to move to the soleus. This time we're going to bend that knee, keeping the heel down. I feel the stretch down here now, and now I can move my knee slowly side to side. to accentuate the rotation component of my foot and ankle, preparing it for exercise and life. Good, we're gonna back out of that. We're gonna go back into it one more time. Bending the knee forward, I feel my stretch. Now I'm gonna rotate. Again, if you feel an area that is particularly tight and feels particularly good to stretch, by all means, stay there and linger there a little bit longer. Take as much time on this as you like. Let's do some row exercises. All right, so this is designed to work the muscles attaching to your shoulder blade. You can do them up high on a surface like this, all right, and that's perfectly fine. And what I care about is that the shoulder blade goes down away from your spine, and then the shoulder blade comes up into the spine. Now the arm doesn't have to come way up like this. All I really care about is that that shoulder blade is moving. And here my shoulder blade is into my spine, and here it's away from the spine. So that's all the depth that you need with this exercise. Now, I'm gonna do it on a lower surface. And again, if you don't feel comfortable doing it on a lower surface, you don't have to. So here my shoulder blade is coming away and then coming in. Away and in. Now, regarding this arm that's holding me up here, notice that my elbow is bent. We don't wanna lock out the elbow. And if it is too much to have your weight on that hand, then just shift your weight back to the back leg instead and get it off of that hand. You can put more weight on there as you feel better or not. We're gonna do about 10 of these. All right, and then we're gonna switch sides. Elbow is bent, shoulder comes away and in. Feel the shoulder blade move. That's 5, let's get 5 more. And this is 5. Let's do some biceps work. The biceps muscles are the muscles in the front of your arm. We're just gonna get a light weight to begin with to make sure that the exercise is safe for you. You can always increase weight later. Simply, we're just gonna be bending the elbow one arm at a time. We're gonna do 5 to 10 of these. Okay? Now, one of the things we wanna make sure of is that you're not using your wrist to help the biceps by flexing it. So keep the wrist in a neutral position as you're going. And then the last thing I want you to pay attention to is just to make sure that your shoulders aren't dipping forward as you're coming up or down with that weight. If you see that happening, only use as much effort as necessary to correct it. We want the shoulders to remain relaxed for the most part. Again, you can increase the weight as you are able, and once you know that this exercise is safe for you. That's about 5 each arm. Let's do 5 more. I'm feeling that biceps in the front of my arm working. Nice and slow and relaxed like this. Got 2 more each arm. That's 1, 1, 2, and 2. We're going to be doing some leg strengthening here using squats. For beginners, we want to use a fit ball, and you want to put the ball against the wall. Put your rear end against that ball, and then you're going to come down whatever depth is good for you, that's all you need. It doesn't have to be super deep. Let's just start, and even with a little bit of a knee bend, and back up, and then back down. Now I'm just gonna go deeper on mine. At most, I'll want you to go down almost to a halfway point here. We're gonna do 10 of these. This is 3, 4. Try to make sure that you're weight bearing through each leg symmetrically. It's okay to let your toes point out if that's more comfortable for you. This is 7. Last thing, I want to make sure that you're weight bearing through your heels and not the balls of your feet. 8, 9, and 10. We're going to do some lower body strengthening using ankle bands. Now, just putting these things on in and of itself is a balance challenge. So if you need to, hold on to something, or you can sit down on a bench to put these on your ankles. So I'll just hold on here. I'll put this on my ankle on one, and then we put it on the other. Now you can buy packets of ankle bands, you know, at any fitness store, and they have a variety of light to very heavy. So I'm starting light. And we're gonna start like this. The knees will be soft. We're gonna step out to the side and then in. And step and then in. Now, what I care about is I want you to feel that when you're stepping out with this leg is pushing you to that outside. So you're really solid. This is the leg that's working to push this leg out. Step. And then the other thing I wanna make sure is that you're not side bending like this to step it out like this. If you are, probably the band is too tight for you. So stay nice and tall. Use this hip to push yourself that way. And now we're gonna go back. I'm gonna use this hip to push this way. Step, staying nice and tall. Generally, about 15 to 20 steps is good. And you'll feel a nice fatigue in your hips. These muscles are really important for balance. Good, I'm gonna go one more time out and in. Step. This leg is pushing me out. I'm staying nice and tall, getting a good workout on this hip. If you need poles in your hands for balance, feel free. And then one more time back in. We're gonna ramp up the bicycle exercise for core strengthening. This time, we're gonna put your hands behind your head, bring your shoulder blades off the floor. We're gonna bring just one leg off, and you're gonna send that out as far as you feel comfortable going so that your back doesn't arch. And then bring that back in, back down, and switch legs. In, back in, and down. Now, as you get stronger and are able to control your back better using your core strength, you can then gradually bring both knees up in the air like this. Okay, I've curled my shoulder blade up off the floor, and now I'm just gonna send my legs out one at a time like this. Only go as far as you feel comfortable, as long as you can control your spine. We're gonna do 5 on each leg. That's 2, 3, my shoulder blades are off the floor the whole time. 4, 4, you can always do more reps if you want to. 5, and go further out if you want to. And 5. 1 foot down at a time, and then curl your upper body down. Let's do some assisted curl-ups. Okay, we're gonna be using exercise tubes to help our back, especially for those of you with back, sciatic, or SI joint pain. It would be a good idea to start with these. So I'm gonna start with a nice thick one here, and I'm gonna loop it over the handle of some machine in the gym. And I'm going to curl down And I'm tucking my pelvis so that my pelvis gets down, and now my lowest lumbar vertebrae is down. And I'm going one vertebrae at a time, laying it down like a string of pearls. The tube is helping me control my back. And then I come up one vertebrae at a time, stacking each vertebrae as I come up, and then back up again. Let's do 5 of these with this tube. Curling it down, one vertebrae at a time. You gotta use your core strength to really try and curl that pelvis to get that lowest lumbar vertebrae down. And now it's down, I can lay down each successive vertebrae, and then my head. My head starts chin to chest, one vertebrae at a time, lifting that string of pearls, one pearl at a time, to come back up, back down, one vertebrae at a time. Take your time. Learn to articulate your vertebrae. This is third one. We're going to do 5 of these with this tube. Use the tube. If you need a thicker tube, if you need more resistance to help you, then scoot further away from where the tube is anchored, and that will help you more. It's okay wherever you're starting. One vertebrae at a time to come back up. Last one. One vertebrae at a time to go down. Laying down that string of pearls, one pearl at a time. And then we come back up, chin to chest first, lifting the string of pearls, one pearl at a time. Okay, now I'm going to switch to a lighter tube. Just to show you, this is a much thinner tube. It's going to help me even less. So we're going to just curl down, and you can start with whatever tube you want. I'm just showing you how you can progress this. One vertebrae at a time going down. And if you feel that your control isn't as good with the lighter tube, then don't move to a lighter tube yet. Wait until you have that control and that strength. One vertebrae at a time, coming up. This is much harder. Okay, we're gonna do 3 of these. One vertebrae at a time, coming down. Nice and slow. Learn how to control. Chin to chest, one vertebrae at a time to come up. Last one. One vertebrae at a time to come down. Chin to chest. Lifting that string of pearls, one pearl at a time to come up. Balance level 2. We're going to do some heel to toe walking. Again, I want you to have a pole in your hand to help you balance, catch your balance if you need it. Basically, we're just going to go heel to toe. And I want you to go nice and slowly and make sure that you're getting your balance in between each step, okay? So go very slowly, use the pole if you need to. When you move that leg forward and put your weight on it, this knee should be soft. That does help you balance better. So learn to soften your knees to help you balance. Go nice and slowly, like walking a tightrope. Okay, I'm going to turn around here. Again, heel to toe. Catch your balance. This is really important if you need to walk in a narrow space and you can't have your feet wide. This helps you prepare for that. My knees are soft as I accept weight onto my feet. Level 2 cardio, we're going to advance to an elliptical machine. It's generally a pretty safe machine and is a great workout for a lot of people. When you get onto the machine, you want to make sure one of the pedals is down at the bottom. You can do that just by moving the arm of the elliptical so that the pedal is positioned at the bottom. Hold on to the machine, step onto that pedal, and if it's at the bottom, it shouldn't shift that much. Then you're going to get on. Okay? Now, There are two sets of handles on most of these machines. One of them is a set that doesn't move, and another is a set that does move. You can use either one or neither. It depends on what you want to target. But if this is your first time, I would use the set that doesn't move so that you're maximally stable. So we're just going to begin like this. You're going to do level 1, no incline at all. And you're just going to see whether this motion feels comfortable for your knees, your hips, your backs, your arms, your whole body. Go at a pace that's comfortable, that you can breathe easily in while you're figuring out whether this machine is good for you or not. Now, one of the things a lot of people do is they go up onto the balls of their feet when they get on this machine. But I want you to maintain your weight bearing through the arch so that your heel is weight bearing too. That ensures that the workout is coming up into the thigh and the rear end area rather than just down into the calf area. Okay? So the way that we're going to do this, ideally, I'd like you to work up to 15 to 20 minutes of this machine before you move on to the next level of cardio. During that 15 or 20 minutes, you can stay at this lower level, or you can work your way up through successive levels of the machine if you want. If you really like this machine, go for it. Just keep increasing the level as you're able. So the way that we're going to start with this is, it's been about 30 seconds that I've been on here and I've been going nice and slow. And now I'm going to pick up my pace and go a little bit faster. I'm going to challenge myself so that my breathing picks up, my heart rate picks up a little bit. You can keep your hands on these handles. As you get better, if you want to put your hands on the moving handles, you can do that too. Now the thing about the moving handles is, if you push harder through the arms, that will help your legs and that will give you an arm workout. If you go lightly through the arms, then it's more legs and less arms. So we're going nice and fast. We're going to do this upbeat level for about 30 seconds. And now I'm going to slow it back down for the next 30 seconds. So we'll alternate 30 seconds slower, 30 seconds faster through the full 15 to 20 minutes. If this is your first time, feel free just to go 3 to 5 minutes if you want, just to see how your body reacts. Now you'll see that I'm not using any hands at all. Ultimately, you can do this machine without any hands. That will challenge your balance, of course, and put all of the effort onto your legs. So there's lots of different possibilities of how to work with this machine. Okay, that's been about 30 seconds of slow. I'm going to increase it one more time and go fast and with no arms. Work your way up to whatever level is comfortable for you. This is not a race. It's not a competition. So be smart and build up safely. And that's been about 30 seconds. And then I'll slow back down.